Hello everybody, I'm Mike Hobbz. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Today I'm going to be going over a prismatic build for the Warlock that I've been using and having a lot of fun with. To begin, we have Nezarec Sin exotic helmet with the Abyssal Extractor's exotic perk that just generates ability and super energy via void kills. You just pair this with your favorite void primary, and that's like the basis of this build. It just helps you generate an absurd amount of ability spam. I like using Collective Obligation. It's not necessary if you don't have it. You can use Graviton, you can use Funnel Web, Recluse, pretty much anything as long as it's a Void primary. I do also recommend a Void Heavy. It's not as important that it's Void as your primary, but it also helps with generating more Void kills, which will translate into more ability and super energy. I recommend a Strand or Stasis weapon in the kinetic slot. That way you can fill the darkness portion of your prismatic bar. I'm using the Call for that purpose, as well as the fact that this is just a fantastic weapon. So that's the loadout portion of this. Pretty much, it's just a Void primary Nezarec Sin. So we'll get started on the aspects fragments. The super doesn't matter as much as some of the other stuff. I'm using Song of Flame because I find it a lot of fun, and it just helps continue that ability spam fantasy. You can use whichever super you want. That's a great thing about this build. A lot of parts of it are interchangeable for player preference. I just recommend, obviously, a Void primary, and I do recommend the Devour aspect because that just helps you with survivability and generating grenade energy via kills when it's active. Now, pairing that with the Arcane Needle is very effective in getting Devour rolling as well as Radiance. You get one kill with your melee, you instantly have Radiance and Devour, so that helps you with the damage output increase as well as survivability. The change to Weaver's Call is fantastic because it lets you generate threadlinks just by getting strand kills, which you'll be doing with the Call and your Arcane Needles, as well as deploying 3 whenever you drop your Rift, which I have for this build a healing Rift, but it's not 100% necessary. You can use whichever one you want. It just helps with the ability spamming, so you're just going to have threadlings all over the place with your strand kills. You're going to be getting Devour up almost all the time. You're also going to have your grenade back, which I recommend a Vortex grenade, so you can weaken via Facet of Dominance and also give your Void primary destabilizing rounds, which is just going to help you keep getting more and more Void kills. Facet of Dawn, I think, is necessary so that your Arcane Needles can give you Radiance. That's way, like I said earlier, just getting a kill with Facet of Dawn with your melee via Facet of Nod, you'll get Radiance, and then you also get Devour because any ability on Prismatic doesn't have to be a Void ability. Facet of Balance is another means of generating energy, melee via light damage and grenade via darkness damage. It just helps keep that build rolling. And then the last one I have is Facet of Purpose. This one is probably interchangeable with whatever you want. This is kind of like a flex, like a freebie. So while getting restoration on ore pickup is nice, it's a little redundant because of how often you're going to have Devour going. Not totally useless, but not 100% necessary. So whatever your personal preference is, you can interchange this or just use another aspect to maybe squeeze out some more points, stat points for your build. Moving on from the fragments and aspects, we'll go over to the mods just to show you my train of thought with the build. All these aren't 100% like necessary for this build to work. This is just what I found particularly useful. On the helmet, I'm running Finder and Scout just to generate heavy for myself and my teammates. I also have Void Siphon, which I think is a no-brainer. Getting orbs on Void kills will help keep this build rolling. For the gauntlets, I have 2 impact inductions, so with my 3 arcane needles, I'm going to be generating more grenade energy or reducing the grenade cooldown. So that's just going to help me get my grenade back quicker and use that. And then my grenade final blows are going to create orbs of power. And that with the Void Siphon is just going to help you just keep continuously making orbs. The chest piece is kind of open to whatever the activity dictates or necessitates, because I leave it open. I typically leave my chest piece open for damage resistance mods for whatever activity I'm doing. I recently did an activity that had solar threat, so that's why I currently have 3 surges or 3 resistances on my chest piece. The boots, I have 2 void weapon surges, so while I'm picking up these orbs, I'm going to be doing some extra damage with my void weapons. And then I also have 1 innervation, which gives you more grenade energy on orb pickup, which you'll be generating pretty frequently with these mods, as well as a Reaper mod on the class item that whenever you use your class ability, you're going to spawn an orb on your next weapon kill, so you can just see how the orb generation is going to be rolling. Also, Powerful Attraction, I think, is fantastic because you're going to just scoop up all the orbs that you're creating by deploying your Weaver's Call. So Threadlings are going to go out, orbs are going to come in. And then Outreach just helps you get your Arcane Needles back a little quicker. So it just they just keep chaining into each other, generating orbs, picking them up, getting grenade energy back, generating grenade with melee. Your class ability is going to give you melee. So, but like I said, the mods aren't as rigid as some other builds, so you can use other things. Like if you didn't want to impact inductions, you could swap that out for something. You could even do 2 fire powers if you wanted to have a more potent orb on your grenade kills. The innervation could be replaced with a 3rd Void Surge for more damage output, depending on what your needs are for whatever activity you're running. That's again why I really like this build, is because it's a lot of fun. It's crazy ability spam, but it's very flexible for what the activity necessitates. Last little side note that I forgot to mention, the Freezing Singularity Grenade will suppress targets. So if you are using Collective, that will be your means of getting suppression for Void Leech. You're already going to be getting a lot of Weakened and Volatile, which is what I use primarily. It's not that big of a deal, but that there is a means of getting all 3 of these with this build. Lastly, I want to note, just for Act 1 of Episode 1, the Echoes, Expanding Abyss is fantastic for this because your Void sources are going to deal increased damage to weakened targets, which you're going to be weakening a lot with your grenade spam. So that, not 100% necessary, it's not required, but it's just an added bonus for this particular season, or episode, excuse me. So yeah, there you go. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you give this build a try. If you do, let me know how you like it. Let me know what you did different with it, because there's so many different ways you can take it. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts and your input. Following the next couple minutes are just going to be some gameplay, just showing some of the ability spam. Nothing crazy, it's just some gameplay. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope to see you on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Mike Hobbz, and we will see you in the next one. So take care, everybody. Thanks again.